Eisenhower, the Marine Corps, and Will Ferrell are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is November 10th, 2022. It is the 314th day of the year. You got 51 days left in 2022. It is the 45th Thursday in the 45th week and the 50th day of fall. 41 days left until winter. We have snow temperatures right now. I think this morning it was like 32 degrees here outside of Portland, Oregon. The other day we were supposed to have some snow flurries. Never happened though. Oh well. Today is International Accounting Day. International Accounting Day is on November 10th, and it promotes the important profession of accounting and also acknowledges all the work that accountants do for businesses and organizations to help them thrive. Imagine for a minute you're a business owner. What would happen if you had no idea how much money you were making or how much you were spending? Your business would most likely fail. A good accountant could definitely help you with this. I don't have an accountant. I'm not that big yet. I know how much I make and I know how much I spend. I imagine if I had some kind of inventory or something like that, I'd need an accountant because I'm not good with math. All right, let's see what else November 10th has given us. 1766, the last colonial governor of New Jersey, William Franklin, signs the charter of Queens College, later renamed Rutgers University. I like Rutgers. Definitely a nice university. 1898, the beginning of the Wilmington Insurrection of 1898, the only instance of a municipal government being overthrown in United States history. 1942, Germany invades Vichy France, following an armistice with allies in North Africa. So this was an interesting time. France was in bad shape. They had been basically split in two after they were invaded by Germany. They set up an armistice with Germany to leave half of the country as a free zone where Germany controlled the northern section. Vichy France was the new capital of what was left of France. Part of that agreement was the French Navy had to stay in whatever port they were at and the German military wouldn't attack them. Well, France sort of had these side bets with the Allies prior to that. But then when England, Great Britain, came to them and said, hey, look, we want your ships before the Germans decide to take them over. The French were too worried this would anger the Germans, so they said no. So the English figured the only thing they could do was actually sink all the French ships in North Africa, which this angered the French to no end. So at this time, you sort of had two French governments. You had Vichy France, which was the southern section, and you also had the occupied north and west, kind of. A few things had happened that got the ball rolling to where Germany wasn't going to honor this anymore. One, the French resistance was really giving Germany a hard time, and de Gaulle, who was their famous general, started gaining power in France. Then the Americans joined the war, and they really saw the Vichy France part of the country as the more powerful one and the one they should be dealing with instead of the occupied section. This kind of freaked Germany out, and they decided to seize the town of Vichy, which was the capital of Vichy France. One thing leads to another, and Hitler kills himself in a bunker. 1951, with the rollout of the North American numbering plan, direct dial coast-to-coast telephone service begins in the United States. 1954, U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower dedicates the USMC, United States Marine Corps, War Memorial, or the Iwo Jima Memorial, in Arlington Ridge Park in Arlington County, Virginia. 1972, Southern Airway Flight 49 from Birmingham, Alabama is hijacked. And at one point, the hijackers threatened to crash the plane into a nuclear installation at the Oak Ridge National Laboratory. After 2 days, the plane lands in Havana, Cuba, where the hijackers are jailed by Fidel Castro. They were thinking they were going to get a hero's welcome. They did not. 1989, Germans begin to tear down the Berlin Wall. 1997, WorldCom and MCI Communications announce a $37 billion merger, the largest merger in U.S. history at the time. Now, this was an incredible time. I mean, you had all these different companies that offered long-distance service, and it was a total racket. I mean, long distance, it was a scam, and I'm so glad cell phone companies came along and just killed that industry, because it was a scam. WorldCom and MCI were two of the biggest with that. 2006, the National Museum of the Marine Corps in Quantico, Virginia is opened and dedicated by U.S. President George W. Bush, who announces that Marine Corporal Jason Dunham will posthumously receive the Medal of Honor. In case you don't know, I think it's like 80% of people that get the Medal of Honor get it after they die. I had a drill sergeant that told us all about it. They give you these speeches in basic training about the flag, and they get you all motivated, and they just tell you the history of things, and it's kind of emotional, especially if you're serving the country. One thing he'd said that about the Medal Medal of Honor that they're all heroes. You get that because you're a hero, and then you usually die when you're a hero. And then I think he was quoting a book, and I should probably look it up, but he said, "A hero only dies once, a coward dies thousands of times." Movies released on November 10th, 2006, Stranger Than Fiction. This was a very good Will Ferrell movie. It was a serious movie, even though when you hear the plot line, you won't think it is. But it had Will Ferrell, Dustin Hoffman, Queen Latifah, Kristen Chenoweth, Emma Thompson, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Tom Hale, Linda Hunt. Great movie. But it's about Harold Crick, an IRS auditor who notices that his life is being narrated by an unknown person. Like, he's hearing voices in his head, and it's someone narrating his life. Anyway, it's this whole journey about learning about his life and the future and his death, and he tries to change his fate from what the voice in his head is saying. Emma Thompson plays this author who's typing out his life someplace else. It's this weird, it's a strange movie. The movie was shot on location in Chicago. Will Ferrell was nominated for a Golden Globe Award for the Best Actor for this movie. Now, it's technically a comedy, but it's really not. It's not that funny. It's a nice, I wouldn't say drama, it's just a nice movie. And so nobody brings it up in the comment section. We talked about these other ones before, but this is also the day Men of Honor premiered, Polar Express, and 3 Billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri. Now, we've talked about those all in the past. Those are all great movies too. Born on November 10th, 1932, Roy Schneider, actor who played Amity's heroic police chief Martin Brody in the classic horror film Jaws. He was also in The French Connection, All That Jazz, and he made his big screen debut in 1964 in the feature film The Curse of the Living Corpse. But he's been in some really good movies. I mean, obviously, Jaws and The French Connection were just outstanding movies. Before he became an actor, he competed in various baseball and boxing amateur championships as a youth. He's very athletic. Died on November 10th, 1964, Jimmy Dodd. He was the head Mouseketeer and theme song writer for the Mickey Mouse Club. He began his entertainment career playing guitar and singing on the radio, and in 1937 he came to Hollywood to play with the Louis Prima Orchestra. Before his breakthrough role with the Mickey Mouse Club, he had uncredited parts in over 70 films and wrote popular songs in the 1940s, so he was an extra in a lot of movies. Jimmy Dodd died of cancer at the age of 54 on November 10th, 1964 in Honolulu. He was survived by his wife, Ruth. Alright, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And share this on your social media if you would be so kind. Alright everyone, have a great day. Be nice to each other.